What's up, y'all? It's Nifty Q. That's Gift Ed. We're here with another daily rehash. It is Wednesday, November 29th, and we're taking you away from your regularly scheduled portal content over there on X. I'm not taking part. Hopefully, you are making a bag. Gift Ed, happy to be here with you, man. Let's get it.
Yeah, man. Happy to be back with all of y'all, especially you, Q. But hey, all of y'all out there, this is the daily rehash. It's the top 10 stories in Web3 from the last 24 hours, and we bring it to you in just 10 minutes. So we got to jump in here, Q. What's up first today?
All right, first story. Popular artist XCOPY announced Simulacrum, which is going to be the second piece in a collection called Fresh Hell. You can see here sharing that holder raffles for 33 allow list spaces is kicking off in their Discord. The price is going to be 2 ETH, 0% royalties on this one, but he's going to keep 9 editions that are not for sale. Interestingly enough, and we do have the OpenSea collection here, Max Payne and Friends by XCOPY is getting a little bit of a bid because this potentially gets you in that 33 piece raffle in his Discord.
Yeah, it's pumping a little bit here. It's up to almost a 0.4 ETH floor over here on OpenSea, and you can see some incoming activity there. This is the most accessible way to get into his ecosystem, so it makes sense that some people are picking those up. But anyway, let's keep it going on to the next one. Oh yeah, I do like the art. It's actually pretty dope. All right, next one. We have to hit it. We wouldn't be doing our jobs. I know everybody's probably like, oh God, Portal Coin, yes. Portal Coin. Let us at least make sure that we're all knowing what it is. They're basically trying to create what some people are calling the quote unquote Steam of Web3. It's just a platform that's an aggregator, a portal for a bunch of different Web3 games. They're trying to help the distribution side of things and be at the center of that with one coin to rule them all. That, of course, being the Portal Coin. So right now, everybody's trying to farm it and get in on what could be a big new gaming platform for Web3.
Yeah, look, there's going to be different topics that we have here in the rehash today that have to deal with gaming, and gaming is 100% a narrative we've been waiting a long time on when it comes to trying to pick up, and it feels like we're right on the cusp of this narrative getting going. They're trying to be kind of a one-stop shop. You want to have one coin between all of these different games. It's going to be interesting to see if they can pull it off. And yeah, I'm totally fading it. As far as farming, you're seeing it all across X. They're utilizing X to have that viral nature by incentivizing with a token airdrop. GIF, are you getting part of this portal?
I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it out. I don't have a lot of stomach for these types of farming types of things usually, but I don't want to fade something that could be legit.
Yeah, it's impossible to fade OniForce, right? If you're sitting where we are, we're big fans of OniForce, and they are announcing their upcoming Fortnite event here. You can see it's going to be one of the biggest community gaming events of the year. Juju Smith-Schuster, who's a big anime fan. He's a big streamer, obviously. He is on the NFL team there with the Kansas City Chiefs, I believe. But yeah, some video here of the actual arena, the actual Fortnite map. You can see a lot of OniForce IP, and that's really what they're leaning into, is telling the OniForce story through Fortnite, and that maybe gets other people in and gets people to understand the Enclave and everything they're doing with their IP.
Yeah, Fortnite is one of the juggernauts in all of gaming. Just so many daily and monthly active users there. The map looks awesome. And also want to pull this up. This is on the website. So right now, the sign up for the Web3 Strikes Back, this big mega event, community event with Juju Smith-Schuster, is open to sign up right now on oniforce.com. So just want to make sure everybody's aware of that. But yeah, I think it looks dope, man. And, you know, definitely I think is going to be fun for casual gamers and hardcore gamers alike, just to get in and have fun. But you know what, let's keep it going on the gaming front. We've got a follow up to yesterday's big news on Shrapnel. They did have a lawsuit filed causing some volatility because there's apparently some dirty laundry getting aired. There's some drama happening in the background betwixt the founders, if you will. There was apparently a hostile takeover. That's the context. And now the CEO is going out and doing interviews to try and calm the storm, steady the ship. Hugh, did you actually watch this full interview yet?
No, I didn't, because it's behind a subscriber wall, or at least a sign up wall. So I'm actually gonna wait for this to appear on X, or at least some highlights. I will say this was probably planned before all this nonsense kind of took part. And volatility is definitely an understatement. The token as well as the operators were just all over the place, but pretty much they've kind of recovered. I think the token itself hasn't recovered as much as the operators, sitting there at 0.24 while we record this.
Yeah, well, more to be coming on that, but it is good to see them out there trying to keep business as usual, and see the CEO out there front and center doing what he needs to do to talk about the game, which is what we all really want the focus to be on.
December or January, waiting on that game for sure. All right, InspectXYZ announced that they are closing their latest funding round. You can see a ton of different people got involved, between influencers like CEOs of Meme, 9gag here, Polygon Ventures, MoonPay, Zeneca. There was a laundry list here. There was no specified amount that was talked about, at least openly on X. Maybe we could dig a little bit further and see how much they raised, but this is essentially going to make it so they can accomplish their goals of being a really strong analytics and tool on X here, as it's related to NFTs. The INSP IDO as well. So we get a token here from Inspect relatively shortly.
INSP. I'm very excited to learn more about, what that farming is going to look like. Is there anything else to do besides attaching your wallet? I don't think we've got a lot of those details yet, but you know what? Congrats to them. This is positive momentum, and they're ramping up to be, an important analytics tool in this next cycle. And, you're starting to see some of those different tools, analytics platforms, et cetera, kind of separate themselves or ramp up as they expect the things to pick up in 2024. So Inspect definitely seeming like they're going to be part of that. And here's a big one. You know what? Back to more gaming news. We can't escape the Web3 gaming meta right now. We've got a big announcement from Illuvium. Yeah, I know you were playing it last night, Q. I'm going to hand it off to you here in a second. But the gist of it is a big announcement from one of the biggest esports orgs in the world, Team Liquid, that they are potentially exploring this as to add it to their roster.
Yeah, you can see the CEO here on this profile, and all the links are going to be in the description for you guys to check out as well. This is a look at Overworld, but more importantly, there's going to be Team Liquid related avatars, as well as other digital collectibles related in Illuvium itself. I mean, Team Liquid, dude, you were in the gaming sphere for a long time, in the gaming industry, working there, and you understand how big a role that these esports brands play in that industry today.
Yeah, esports is a very difficult business to be in. And there's not that many really big organizations that are competitive for long amounts of time. It's a difficult one to do well in. And Team Liquid is up there as a top tier esports league, globally speaking. And we really have not yet seen that much Web3 gaming activity with esports, other than NounsDAO is the one place that we've seen it. So this is very exciting. Maybe Illuvium is the next place for Web3 gaming to make an entry there.
Yeah, shout out to Machi, who also had his team there in the esports realm. And big shout out to 100 Thieves, which I'm a big fan of. All right, I'm not a big fan of this guy. Jerry Saltz continues to be in the news. We're not going to spend much time on this, okay? Jerry called out the Web3 space, and more specifically, just a publication, right? A publication basically highlighting the top artists of 2023, digital artists, I should say specifically, but there weren't many women. I think there was one woman on that list of 10, and he just basically said that Web3 is a bunch of, it's a circle jerk of just white dudes making a ton of money and all this stuff, and it's not open or inclusive. And then we take a look here at the top, I guess, what is it, ChatGPT to make a list of top 10 art critics in the US, all male except for one
female, but they're all white and Caucasian. And this is just it's hard for me to make this brief, but yeah, this was a response to him. The responses in the comments kind of say it all. The hypocrisy of this old white this old white wealthy male who has received the privilege of his, how he was born his entire life, turning around and treating others like this, who cannot control the way that they're born themselves, or just trying to make a name for themselves and using virtue signaling to engagement farm on all of us. It just it smacks of so much hypocrisy, and it's such a basic take. Why not just criticize the article or the publication, instead of, again, he doesn't want to do the research or the time to dig in to actually, find some legitimate women builders to highlight himself or do any of that hard work. He's just trying to engagement farm off of virtue signaling, and it's kind of pathetic.
Yeah, I'm not gonna waste any more energy on it, to be honest.
I like that move. Let's keep it going. Although I will say, when I typed that in, I wanted to call him Very Salty instead of Jerry Saltz so bad. I didn't. I would held, but it was hard.
All right, Mary, the high road.
Yeah, I chose the high road. Mary Modz is coming back with what they're calling the ultimate dark forest run. It's cool that they have some big partners coming in: World of Women, Oniforce, Quarter Machine, and Chiptos X Chiptos. Love to see that. And basically, it looks like some kind of mini game that's going to be coming, and they're airdropping snow blowers. I don't know if you've got that one pulled up, but we did just get a sneak peek from Oniforce as well that we could look at maybe. But they're basically airdropping snow blowers, these custom branded snow blowers, to all of their partners here, and that is your ticket if you would like to play this Mary Modz Dark Forest run.
Yeah, let me talk about this for a second. You can try to find that on the Oniforce piece. We gave Tom Bilyeu, I think, some well-deserved criticism when all this stuff happened. I believe with the SEC, and there was a lot of different filings. Yeah, you see there the snowblower for Oniforce. The fact that he's continuing to develop this Mary Modz IP is interesting, because at the time it was part of the Founders Key ecosystem, and it was one small part. So a lot of people were saying, "Hey, how can you do a seasonal collection? How viable is that?" Well, he's keeping it going 2-3 years later, which is really cool to see. So yeah, I like this move with continuing to build out a seasonal IP. We don't see many of those.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
All right, so Coinbase is apparently being subpoenaed to actually disclosing customer funds and information. This has to do with the Bybit platform as well. So I'm going to go into the actual article here over on CoinMarketCap, and you can see Coinbase, the US-based crypto exchange, has recently informed an undisclosed number of its users about a recent subpoena from the CFTC. Coinbase has chosen not to make any public statements, but appears that the subpoena is connected to Bybit, a Dubai-based crypto exchange by Benjo in 2018. So basically, if you use Bybit and you use Coinbase, you might have been the one that was informed here that they have received a subpoena from the CFTC about your accounts.
That's basically all the info there is on that right now. Just something that is developing that we will continue to follow over there with Coinbase and Bybit. But all right, this is an interesting quick story on Jack Butcher's checks. Apparently, one of these single checks, which are very rare, can be created from the original checks collection, sold for 15 ETH yesterday. Pretty big sale over there for one of these NFTs. And Punk 90959, sorry, I got that wrong, but NFT Stats, as I usually call them, was reporting on this, saying you can also create one of these for about 17 ETH right now from 64 of the original checks. But just an interesting big sale there on Jack Butcher's OGVV collection.
Yeah, love it, man. Awesome. I got another piece of information here, Gifted, as we round out this episode. I think you were right. I'm going to give you a little bit of your flowers here on MadLads. It looks like 22 MadLads were just swept in the last 5 minutes. This is after they hit their all-time high. You might be onto something with the fact that MadLads, even though they're sitting at 7,000, 8,000 USD, that it's just going to be seen as that Bored Ape Yacht Club of that ecosystem, and that it's just going to consistently be a top performer.
Yeah, that is a breaking piece of news, and I do feel pretty bullish. And last thing, we got to say belated happy birthday. Happy Bitcoin halving birthday. 11 years ago, the first halving. And apparently only about 145 days left until the next one. So get excited. It's happening soon.
Let's get after it. All right, that was the daily rehash. We appreciate you guys every time you leave a like or you're supporting the channel. If you're liking it on X, if you're doing anything on YouTube, all this stuff helps out the channel. And we love doing this for y'all each day. So appreciate y'all very much.
Our Vibe, our tribe.